Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It is around 11, and I am in a leveling dungeon with some people who are, let's say, it's going okay. I'm not too happy about this here because it looks like we are just wasting time here because the healer is not confident enough to heal. Which is fine, but at some point they will have to learn that wall-to-wall pulling is a thing, and everybody does it. Because the dungeons are not hard. You just need to time your debuffs correctly. Or not debuffs, but your cooldowns correctly. And not focusing so much on healing. Because most people can actually heal. Just the smaller dungeons that are the issue. But anyways, let me just finish this here up. We were just at the last boss. And then we'll switch over to the game so you can see it. And actually, we can switch over to now. One thing that's really frustrating is that I know everybody's plus level 50 and this your duty. And everybody doesn't know how to do their job yet. That is a late thing to do. Tail? And that's it. That's it. So, what we're gonna do now is actually log out. We are going Heavenward today. And the first thing we're gonna do is watch this. I think I haven't seen this here in years. Is that the steps of fate? It has to be. That's where we were fleeing from, yeah. So that's where we were fleeing from Mulda. And Raban losing his arm. That's after the attack of that's the attack on Ashen Steps, or the Steps of Faith, and that was the Azure Dragoon Estinian. Surprise. Lolorito. And I'm not switching to Great Dragoon. I don't like Dragoon. Not in the sense that it's a bad job. No job is bad. It's just, what do you like to play? And I have to say that a lot of the things regarding Dragoon, especially, so Dragoon has, I think he has 1 or 2 positionals, which is, it's not that bad, but the whole rotation just doesn't suit me. You have to, he has a buff which grants a person I think it's critical hit, or it's direct hit, or is it something else? It's either, it's a buff, and you need to target that person to buff him, and you will also get that buff. So it's not like if you have the choice of buffing yourself or another, you're actually sharing it, which is fine. I have never been a fan of stuff like that because there is already enough to do with the rotation, and on top of that, the flipping back, he has a flip back, he has his dives, which are animation locked, and there are plentiful of things there. It's a great job for if people like that stuff, but it's not me. A DPS job that I adore, which was technically my main until I started doing the static, and they were saying, like, we have too many DPS and somebody needs to do tank. And I used to do tank previously, so I got to choose tank, but I think Dancer is probably my favorite range DPS job, range physical. My favorite melee job would probably be Samurai. from a simplistic standpoint, I think samurai is perfect for if you wanna. If I wanted to say like, okay, if I were to say like, okay, you need to swap from tank to closed melee job, I would say, okay, I'm doing samurai because it is the easiest job for me to transition over because the rotation is so much better and easier than going like I do love ninja a lot better. But the problem is ninja is way busier and harder to do. Like, and people expect from a static that the ninja is the top tier damager. And if you fuck up your rotation, it's like, no, that's not good. You're not going to be liked a lot. So I would have to say, if I were to switch over to samurai instead, I would do that and have that as an option and gear that up. Physical range, I'm 100% dancer. Dancer is the way to do it. It's a buff and a high DPS job. They can do a ton of damage if they want to. I love that job. I love the rotations. I love the steps and all that stuff, and I have it nailed down to minute for me at least. If I wanted to do a magic job, I would probably do Summoner or Red Mage. Red Mage, sadly, is a very, very poor state, DPS-wise, but I would probably do Summoner. Great rotation. Easy, love the job. But enough about all this here. We are here to start Heavenward. We've seen this here. So the whole trailer for Heavenward is what we played yesterday, which is the betrayal, and we flee from Ul'dah. And the funny thing is, and I can't remember which game I played. Something like this happened in a game where you were locked away, like you were banned from a city, or you were this. If you went to the city, people would hate you or hit you or attack you. This here is, I can go to Ul'dah now and do whatever I want. People don't know jack shit. So one thing that Square did was not locking us out of saying you can't do Ul'dah at all. You can't. If you go there, you will be in danger, which I find both good from a simplistic people who love Ul'dah, who want to do their other quests and all that stuff. But then there's also the story aspect that why am I able to go back to Ul'dah without doing at least something? And I don't know, it's a little bit of both. But anyways, let us see if we can get into Ishgard.
The dawn's light will shine again.
You can hear the voice
So
actor
long as we
chant.
have these specious accusations hanging over us, we will struggle to achieve anything. You must go to Ishgard, as Tataru proposed. I will return to Ul'dah and set things right.
Pray, do not be so hasty, Master Alphino.
Lord Orchiffon.
Full well do I understand your desire to clear your names. But now is not the time for drastic action. You yet have allies upon whom you can rely. There is no need to act alone.
Yes. Yes, of course. Pray forgive my impatience.
I bring tidings. Count Edmont has decreed that the three of you be taken in as wards of House Fortan. Under our patronage, you shall be granted access to the city proper.
Yes.
Pray, consider Consider our manor your new headquarters, from which you may gather information and plan how best to proceed. Needless to say, should any of your missing allies be found, as I am certain they shall, they will of course be welcome to join you there.
So we are in the exclusive that actually getting access to the city now. That is what we want, because we are going to change our main destination.
Generous, my friend. On behalf of my fellows, I humbly accept your
I love
offered
this voice
hospitality.
acting. So much better than you.
The Count is a good man and just. He will treat you with the kindness and respect that a hero and dear friend deserves.
To Ishgard, then. Together. There we shall carry on the Scion's legacy. There we shall begin anew.
And there we shall also start our other side quests. The first thing we're going to do after we actually have been into the city and run around and do our Aetherite synchronization is we are gonna go and get this warrior up. Jesus. Warrior quest. Main story warrior quest. I must go ahead and speak with the Count. Fear not, however, for everything has been arranged. The sentries at the Gate of Judgment have been informed of our decision. You need just state your names and they will allow you to pass. My manservant shall be waiting for you at the Gaia City gates, ready to escort you to our manor, where we shall meet again. Until then. Perfect. This is a glorious day. We're finally out of the rut, guys. We're gonna go into an even better better expansion with a lot more better story. We're gonna get better voice acting because Milfinia has changed. I think Yida has changed. Pretty much a lot of it changed. It's not. It's a substantial. It's just like Horshathon, Thancred. I think Tatar also changed. I think. Yeah. Worlds of House Forts. Ah, yes, you may pass. We've entered a sanctuary. Here we have it. The steps of faith.
And so they came, at a friend's behest.
Oh, he actually gets close here. I forgot. But the tower also.
Heroes once celebrated as saviors of Eorzea, brought low through treachery, their names blackened with royal blood. With memories of the lost and dreams of redemption, with hope yet in their hearts, they came. To Ishgard, shining city on the mount, overlooking the dominion of Kurthus.
Kurthus.
A great and proud nation, devoted to Halone, the Fury, ruled by Thordan VII, Archbishop of the Ishgardian Orthodox Church. The last bastion of the faith, her walls ever bristling with the sworn swords and spears of her 4 high houses. A land that after 1,000 years of war had forgotten what it was to be at peace. through gates long closed, the warrior of light and her companions passed, entering at last a city whose history was written in blood. In the midst of the Dragon Song War they came, 3 weary travelers whose arrival would set in motion great change. Though none knew then how great.
So, 2 things here. Here, that is the Dark Knight. This here is the Machinist. And I think we have no scholars here. No, sorry. Astrologian is here, but you cannot do that until you have maxed Arcanist. Or the Arcanum up to 30 above. Because it's split out of what's it called? Blah 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 blah. Summoner. So that is locked behind there. But let us go ahead and talk with the manservant. House Hortense. Manservant. Greetings, Mistress Connor. On behalf of House Fortemps, I bid you welcome to Ishgard. Thank you. My lord humbly requests your presence at his residence in the Pillars. If you would all come with me. I will probably walk there myself. Great. So what we are going to do, we are going to go ahead and do the Aetherites. So we have a couple here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're, of course, doing the main. And we're maxed out, so no, I do not have access to this one here yet. Okay. We'll go to the Pillars in a bit. What's this here? Is that the trader? That's the level trader. Levy made a trailer. Trader? No. Trader. As a trader, not traitor. We have... What's this here? Oh, no, this here's the clan hunt. Okay. This here's the clan hunt. Okay. We're actually can't do that yet. So that's access to that. Yeah, that's the clan hunt billboard, which is a great way of XP also and money. I'm actually gonna take it just so we have it. Also, FYI, I did a lot of the quests, so I've soloed a lot of the hard quests, the hard dungeons to get them out of the way because they were in the middle of things. And this here is... We're skipping this here because it's just side stuff to unlock something we need for level gaining. And that's that. Clan board. Complete. We will talk with him. We'll do this, and I will purchase this one here. Because this here is just like, when we're out hunting, we will actually see monsters with a special icon, just like we had our... this here. And that is technically... Oh, excuse me. We're doing that to do things. Oh, we actually have one more thing here. Speak with... Here... speak with Padrone and then speak with him. It's probably because we're so high level. Or we're interacting with. Complete. That's post daily 2. That's because we're such high level. Okay, did we attune to this one here? Probably not. No. Oh, we did. We did not attune to the broom. The broom. Let's do that. And do we jump down here? Yep. And this here goes us into the pillars. We're just gonna go this way. Oh, he's role-playing. Okay. And that is a gatekeeper to... which we cannot do yet, but that is the rebuilding of some of the things here. So this here is the foundation. Oh, can I actually do this already? Is that... Okay, let me double check it. Let me just see if I'm not doing saying stupid stuff. No. It's not the astrologian that is locked behind the arcanist. It's the scholar. The astrologian is a job by itself. That's my bad. So it's in here. I was also thinking, didn't they add 2 jobs because they added Dark Knight and then they add Astro? Yeah, because Astro is a part of... Yeah. Okay. So Astro is here. Yeah, this... A dark... What's this? Is that Dark Knight? Yeah, this sure has to be Dark Knight, right? I thought actually Dark Knight started up in the below quest. Maybe it's because... Is Guardian Citizen. Is this here Dark Knight? After witnessing a spectacle like that, everyday life seems rather dull in comparison. So you didn't see the trial earlier. Our loss. Fury take me that the heretic swung and stabbed Iron cult. He called sword was sight to behold. Couldn't carry a shield and a blade was so big. Had to keep 2 hands on it on all times. It was amazing to manage that he managed to keep up with the Temple Knights for as long as he did. Fought like a demon in some of the deepest pits of the 7 hells, bestowing Tretzpiker and his arts. He wasn't sure what it was to make of him first, but I heard someone say he must be a Dark Knight. But you didn't hear that from me, eh? In fact, I'm sure I don't know anything about it. Let us speak no more of this. Never know who's listening. That is the Dark Knight quest. So, yeah. Anyways, let me just use the bathroom real quick and I'll be right back. Ah, back. We're not gonna start this quest line yet. I would actually, I actually would rather have that we have maxed out Warrior before we started this here, but we might have to, for expedience sake, actually do multiple things at the same time. But I digress. We are still in the middle of getting things up and running. So, first things first, we are going to the last vigil. We're not gonna speak with Harshaphant and everybody else yet. We are gonna. I should have. Oh well. Okay. Oh, and we are gonna take a break later because I haven't trained yet, and I also need to do some stuff. So there will be a stream break where we will go offline, and it's gonna be, of course, in a couple hours, and then after a couple hours, I will go and come back. Of course, we will do this here. It will be a full day. Trust me, we will have things, but there will be a break for me. And it's not something that is going to be 5 minutes. It's going to be an hour or two, maybe. So, just be aware of that. Also, for a little bit of promotion's sake, I played when Scorn launched. Did a little quick playthrough and captured that and threw that up on the main channel on the YouTube. You can check that out if you want, just to see if that game interests you. The game is what should we call it? The game is a horror slash puzzle game. It is not in any form of way, in my opinion, what I've played of it, a Resident Evil type game in any kind. Maybe it turns into it. There's no combat that I've explored yet. But again, I've only played a couple hours of it, so do beware of that. Which one am I missing? Oh, I'm missing the Astrologian. Okay. Let me just check what we have here, because Sundry's vendor, is that? No, that is not that. Jewelry, independent jeweler. No. Armor, yeah. Weaponsmith, apothecary, carry, merchant mender. Well, we can repair this one here because I'm not high level to do that. But I am sadly disappointed that I cannot buy tombstones here, and the next tombstone option that I will have is in the next city. That's long away. Shit. Okay. Anyways, let me just pop over here and run below and get the Astrologian so we can max that out and get access to everything. And then talk with the Count and Houseford. There we go. Now we have everything because it locks us. First thing, we're gonna go to the last vigil. And for the last vigil, we are here. The warrior of life and her brave companions walking the streets of Ishgard at last. What a glorious sight! Cannot tell you how long I've wanted to, have waited for this day. Allow me to present you my family home, Fort Thames Manor. I should like nothing more than to show you around, but everyone is gathered to receive you inside. Come, my friend. Introductions must be made. So this here is his father we are meeting, which is the Count, of course.
My lord, I have returned with the Scions.
I hope your journey was not too taxing. I, Count Edmond de Fortomp, do bid you welcome. As wards of House Fortomp, you shall be afforded every courtesy. My home is your home.
My companions and I are deeply honored, Count Forton.
The honor is mine, Master Alphino. Consider it an expression of our gratitude for your service to Ishgard.
Forgive me, my lord, but are you not concerned? To accept foreign guests at such a juncture, especially ones with our reputation.
Do not worry yourself on my account. 'Tis true that Ishgard's first thought has ever been the war effort, hence the closing of our borders. Yet it is in troubled times most of all that men should seek allies, don't you think? Granted, my decision will have raised eyebrows in the vault and in the halls of the other high houses. But so long as you continue with your altruistic endeavors, I doubt my honored peers will feel moved to voice their concerns.
Then there is naught to fear. Though our numbers are much reduced, we are no less determined to carry on our work.
Indeed.
Full glad am I to hear it. But before you return to your labors, why not take a tour of the city? You would do well, I think, to acquaint yourselves with your new surroundings. After all, you may be here for some time.
Yeah, probably almost a year. I would expect that Heavenward is probably a year at least in story arc. So here's the Count. Manservant. As I said before, my home is your home. After all you've done on our behalf, it is the least I can offer. Greetings, Scion, and welcome. We are honored by your presence. They'll be whispering about you soon, if they aren't already. Mysterious guest of House 410th. Or some such. Through our friends in House Fortum in House Fortum have been gracious enough to extend us with their protection. We must take care not to impose too much on their hospitality. It is only proper that we learn about our new home, so that we might become more self-sufficient. It'll take a while to learn the lay of the land, but learn it we must. Then there's the markets and taverns. We need to know where to shop and where to hear small talk. About seem a tour of the city is indeed in order. I thank you for your counsel, my lord. My companions and I shall, of course, do as you suggest. Very good. My manservant shall accompany you. He will be able to answer any questions you might have. Ah, but I grow forgetful in my doage. There's something I must give you, Erwi part. The documents, the documents is in order, I trust. Yes, my lord. Yeah, because you'll probably need documents to go around the city, or else you'll be what's it called? Imprisoned. Yep. These documents identify you as a ward of House 410. Given that our borders have remained closed for decades, many of my countrymen are unaccustomed to treating with foreigners. Should anyone happen to question your presence here, it may prove necessary to remind them that you remain under the protection of House 410. But let us hope it shall not come to that. Oh, trust me, it will. Rest assured that we shall do our utmost to avoid any situations which might compel us to invoke your name. Sarah Totaro, the city on awaits. Let us go. I confess that I've no longer been a dream of mine. It has been a long dream of mine to visit Ishgard. To my childhood self, her towers, bridges, and cobbled streets seem akin into something from a fairy tale. And I have never quite outgrown this fantasy. As this is your first time in the fair, pray permit me to show you the Hoplons, from whence we may gaze upon the splendor of the holy silk vault. Through all other sides, though all other sides pale in comparison, this is only meet that you see it first. I shall then show you around the jeweler's corridor, where you can purchase all manners of goods and services, and descending to the foundations, Aetheryte Plaza, if there are no questions. Ah. This is the last quest we do, and then we split off to the better acts around. The Hoplon is named for a bronze great shield borne by our nation's patron deity in the largest plaza in Ishgard. The magnificent cathedral to the north is, of course, the Holy Vault. The vault is both Ishgard's seat of government and the residence of the Archbishop of Ishgard, or of the Ishgardian Orthodox Church. Beg your pardon, the statue to the south? Are they, perchance, Fordan's famed Knights 12? Very good, Sir Master Alphanode. They are the fathers of Ishgard, the brave knights who joined with King Fordan, the first to put down Nidhogg and found the great nation. Ours is the city rich in history and tradition, and there is much you can learn by exploring the pillars, time permit, of course. Now then, if you will follow me to the jeweler's corridor, I shall introduce you to Mistress Eliza. Eliza? Our master of the market. Yeah, we'll just check this one down here. It's faster. Well, you're clearly not locals of traveling pillars. Which makes you all? Ah, wards of House Fortem. How very interesting. Count Edmund has granted us leave to remain in Ishgard as long as we wish, which may be for some time. Accordingly, we will have need of sundry goods. Hence, our desire to make your acquaintance, that is, of course, assuming you are content to accept the customs of foreigners. Should you be uncomfortable? Young sir, we do not discriminate in matters of money. If you have coin to spend, who are we to refuse it? Weapons, armor, cauteries, medicine, materials, whatever you desire, it can be found here in the Corso. Our merchants will be more than happy to accommodate you, as you shall soon see. Our next destination is the Aetheryte Plaza in the Foundation, if everyone is ready. And that's why it's good to always attune. And here we have the Foundation. Aetheryte Plaza, if you have yet attuned to the Aetheryte, it would be wise to do so now. I've already done so, and this here is useless. Good. I think it's time we go to... The first thing we almost forgot is... favorite destination and free destination. And then we go ahead and do this. Because this here will be our new home. Okay, let's see what our dear friend up here has in store for us. Curious George. Ah, Sarah, I scarce recognized you. The flames of battle have tempered you like a fine steel. Since last we spoke, I resolved to start upon path where the warrior knew. I swore that I would not succumb to the beast within again, as I did when I faced my brother in Wineport. Speaking of which, Broken Mountain has regained as much of his strength, though when I speak with him of taking up the axe once more, he's changed the subjects to return to the studies of Arcanema and other scholarly pursuits. Nevertheless, his desire to spread the teachings of our ancestors to very corners of yours remains unchanged. And you couldn't have come in a better time. I've just received a letter from Broken Mountain stating that he has uncovered information regarding ancient material techniques. Ancient martial techniques. If you're interested, I'm sure you are. Why not accompany me to the Camp Bronze Lake, so that we might hear what he has to say together. He's inside, I'm guessing. There he is, Broken Mountain. Well, do you remember? I do remember you, Sarah. The soul warrior to tame the inner beast. And I shudder to think what might have happened if you had you not been there to save us from ourselves. You know the pretentious nature of the forces we wield, as well as the consequences of losing control for even a moment. The beast does not succumb to discriminate between friend or foe. And if given free rein, will lash out at both. I've pored over the countless tomes in each in searching for knowledge to how to tame the beast within, as you did, but my efforts thus have far proven fruitless. All I've found is a ridiculous tale of a technique that, if the author could be believed, would make Rhaegar himself cower in fear. The elders often told tales of the legendary warrior to inspire the youth. Are you sure there is no truth to yours? Quite. There is a description of the technique used by the hero of Mithril Heart, but the details are difficult to swallow. No warrior alive or dead can rip off the behemoth's arm with his bare hands. The tales are filled with similar outrageous accounts, brother. It would be a waste of time to investigate their veracity when we know so little how to tame the inner beast. Besides, you know as well as I that a Mithril Heart is not more than a fairy tale's hero. But if I could prove that the Mithril Heart was flesh and blood, would you be willing to continue your studies then? Never did I stray from the path of the warrior, even as the years took their toll. Axe in hand to the Silver-Tear Falls we would go, never to return, which means that if he truly lived, then there may be something there which proves it. Keep your axe stashed, George. You'll be better served by the time spent swinging your axe at a practice dummy than searching to go for ghosts. Well met, Sarah. My thanks for assuring that an old friend here lived to learn from his mistakes, though it seems the lessons didn't stick for long. Well, that's good. He's been kind enough to keep my brother busy with work and assisting me during my recovery. Anything to keep a former comrade out of trouble. As for these stories, far-fetched as they may seem, it wouldn't be quick to dismiss them. Lest we forget, Sarah has more than a few legendary accomplishments to her name. Well, if by chance she found proof of the Mithril Heart existence, I will reconsider, but leave my brother out of it. I may not be ready to accompany you, but I can give you advice on where to start. Seek out the Sons of the Saint coinage. I'm certain they know something of the Mithril Heart's final journey. So off to Madonna, okay. No, Mordona. Okay. We have some people. Cider. Well, when the waters of the Silvertear Falls resided 15 years ago, they revealed a treasure trove of artifacts spanning eras, many of which have yet to be recovered. I do not know if there's any of those artifacts and have any relation to the Mithril Heart, but it might serve you well to begin searching those particular submerged areas. Relics belong to the ancient House Guard warrior. Wow, we were up to our necks in elegant artifacts. I can't say that I have come across any of that would be what you seek. Okay. We focus on research of artifacts elegant empires, thus there may be more recent discoveries which we ignored by a single-minded researcher. After curious reach, you find nothing of interest. Search of proof alongside the Silver Shores found line. We found an axe. Okay. Presented to the Broken Mountain. Well, have you uncovered proof of the Mithril Heart's existence? This axe is engraved with curvature of the blade that are exactly as described. To think of the beast who tasted the steel. Surely that proves that the Mithril Heart is more than just a mere campfire story. With a steel heart and his legendary techniques, we'll have the strength to slay even the strongest of beasts by the dozen. If Mithril Heart's feats are indeed possible, then the knowledge of how to perform them should prove invaluable in restoring the warrior's reputation. You could show the people of yours the true potential of warrior. Surely no small number of them would have compelled to take up the axe. Indeed, it could prove a great boon for our cause. Very well. I will return with the tomes and scour them for any passages relating to the Mithril Heart. Mind you, ancient techniques may rouse the inner beast like none before. Of that I have no doubt, which is why you must not take your training lightly. When I uncover the information, you must need be ready. And the next one is level 52, and I'm way past level 52. Broken Mountain. I can tell you that you are not neglecting your training, Sarah, which is good. I have continued in my research onto the towns of mythical Horrors and his legendary feats. And I believe I've come across a passage which may guide your next step. Before I share my findings with you, however, there is another small matter of pressing importance that I must resolve before continue. A ferocious beast has been sighted near the Weeping Saints in the Korthas Central Highlands. I would have you, me, and my brother go and slay it. As it possesses the threat to any of those who venture nearby, it realize that it may seem unlike traveler matter, but I assure you that it is of utmost importance. Okay, to Camp Dragonhead we go. Oh, that's the big ogre, I think. Broken Mountain. Broken as always. Oh no, he fucked up. Thank the 12 you made it. The beast caught us unaware. My brother leaped to my defense and slew it, but in that moment, he has overcome to his inner beast as before in Wineport. I knew it would be folly to bring him here. I beg you, stop him before he hurts himself. Ah. Oh, he. There we go. Inner rage, nice. Liking the pass of the Zara, speak to me. Thank the gods you're awake. When your final blow landed, you and my brother both collapsed. What happened, Sarah? Do you remember anything? Your inner beast lashed out as if it was trying to escape? I see. The lingering numbness is likely your body recovering from the shock. Otherwise, you appear to be unharmed and in full control of your faculties. I owe you an apology, Sarah. Once again, I lost control. I've already attended to my brother's wounds, no need to worry. Alas, as I suspected, my brother yet lacks the strength to control his inner beast. And you may have guessed, it called both you here, to see if my fears were unfounded. Did not wish to give you cause to worry, brother, but when the beast stirs, my mind goes clouded, and my will falters. Oh, perhaps I remain silent to avoid the facing of the bitter truth. You would trust a protector that could turn on them at any moment. It pains me to do this, but I cannot allow you to accompany Sarah any longer. The risk is far too great for to both of you. Mayhaps it is best we continue the conversation in the safety of Camp Bronze Lake. God damn, Sev, you've grown so much stronger while I've hardly grown at all. Show yours what it means to be a true warrior. I know I can. You can. Okay, Camp Bronze Lake we go to. So my brother has been in the dour mood. Has been in a dour mood ever since we returned from the Weeping Saints. Well, that should only be natural given the lack of progress, and it may be for the best. The teachers of our people are too dangerous for those who lack control. That is why I've chosen to focus on my studies on how to tame the inner beast. For the sake of my brother, I wanted to not more than to resolve this dilemma. But then fate intervened, and I stumbled upon the tales of Miffleheart. But perhaps we need to forsake our pursuit for the other. Though the inner seekings, the technique of Eld, we may discover the reason why you can hold the beast in check so easily while my brother and I fumble about it like children. However, I'm still concerned about what you told me before, about your inner beast lashing out during the duel with my brother. Can you tell me more? Can you tell me more of it once more? Simply recalling the duel arouses the inner beast from its slumber. Wait, it all makes sense. Only the flames of the ambitious may temper the warrior's soul. I came across these words in a passage, and I did not understand their meaning until now. The inner beast strives when we face an opponent and pushes us to surpass our physical and mental limits. Only in a moment can the certain mastery of new techniques. This must be how the heroes of Eld, like Miffleheart, became such legends. They traveled the realm and testing their mettle against the fiercest foes they could find. Your path is clear, Sarah. You must challenge yourself as they did and must grow stronger and hone your skills to newer heights. And this here is Fellcleave and Inner Beast Mastery we're unlocking. Well met, Sarah. It seems your tale has prepared you for the next step down the long path. However, while your progress is truly remarkable, I'm afraid my brother still fears the fury and inner beast. In the training yard, even in the training yard, he swings his axe with hesitation. Seeking to test himself against live foes, he has joined the Maelstrom efforts to repel the ancient spat of the Copal attack. However, Wisecat has sent him word that his ferocity on the field of the battle is not what it once was. My brother has long admired you, your will Test your axe against even ever stronger adversity and master the techniques of Eld. And by doing to so serve to inspire him and all who aspire to walk the path of the warrior. Remember the words set forth on the ancient tomes and seek foes to test their very metal to the limits of mind and body. Your hearts of battle will awaken the beast within, bestowing upon your knowledge of your ancestors. Luckily, the path you've walked has been tread on before, and you need not wander the lands aimlessly. According to the tomes, Miffelhart spent a season hunting and hugging grizzly bears that stalked the Alabastan spine, the largest of which are said to ravel even the behemoth inside. Make your way to Tail's Feathers, home of many seasoned hunters that know the lay of the land and of the creatures inhabitants it. Find the beast of Mithril Heart, hunt the test yourself against the razor claws as he did. Yep. And now we are into the Devonian Forelands. And we do not have access to that yet. That means we need to go to the Foundation. Let me check, can I get access? So, the issue regarding that, we need permission to leave it. Because it's Sea of Clouds. Here. Let's actually check if we can. There are some issues regarding that. So that's the gates to the Central Highlands, which we cannot go to. Yeah, let's do this. And see if we are allowed to go out via the airship ticket. And I'm pretty sure that will... My apologies, madam. But all flights have been suspended until further notice on account of inclement weather. Yeah. So we cannot. It is not open to us yet. Meaning MSQ. We are locked behind the MSQ. So, as we are locked behind the MSQ, we, of course, need to talk with... But we have a quest. That's the most important part. House Fortems and Sovet. Let us see. Will it pause or not? It pauses. As of our next destination, perhaps you should decide. We should decide together. What else can be found nearby? Steel Sky Manufactory stands to the west, where our engineers convene with the manufacturing of weapons to use against dragons. The Holy Stable, where chocobos are trained for war, also lies in that direction. To the north and east can be found the congregations of our knights most heavenly. While to the south and east, well, it must be best to avoid that area. And why is that? I fear our knights may not be able to ensure your safety in the lower levels of the Master Alpha Node. Hold your horse. When you pass the broom, the Lord, a delicate flower like you is like a whiff in our fuel. You mistrust me, sir. I'm no lord, but a humble. I'm no lord, but a humble traveler. Unsavory character. Oh, come to see size heavy. Take a turn down the Hoblon and grab at the statues. Well, If you're a mind to learn how better half lives, come and have a drink at the Forgotten Night. In your nursemaids, if your nursemaids let you. My humblest apologies, Master Alphonso. Pray pay the drunk loud, no mind. Oh, but I must. It would not do to refuse a heartfelt invitation, yes? I simply must see the Forgotten Nights to myself. I trust you see the wisdom in this, sir. There are few sources of information more abundant than a bustling local hostelry. Not that I expect to hear any news of our missing comrades just yet, nevertheless, who can say what might be learned of recent events? Then, I'm coming too. Yep. If you want information, there's nothing like going to a tavern and just listen. Must say, it's rather unusual, but not just one. A whole party of fresh new faces in my tavern. We but recently arrived in Ishgard and are eager to acquaint ourselves with her more noticeable establishments. Master Gibrillant. Just Gibrillant will do. I'm flattered you think so highly of my establishment. Can't promise you live up to your expectation, but decent food and drink after you're after. You could do much worse. Judging by the numbers of customers I see, I suspect your fare is rather more than decent. Speaking of which, of clientele, I could not help but note difference between those who frequent the upper and lower floors. Spotted that, did you? Aye, up here, you'll find peddlers, porters, off-duty nights, and so forth, dropping in of their way to or from somewhere else, regulars maybe, but not locals. Folks of the Brune, they tend to congregate downstairs, where we offer a menu of more suited to their taste. Cheaper meals, stronger spirits, all quality mind, but not the sort of stuff you'd recommend to yourself. You speak of the lower levels, yes? Why do you call them the broom? If I may ask. Because when the weather's foul, the broom rolls too thick. It's a poor sods living at the bottom who have to deal with it. I see. And it's not just the weather. When the Vivens broke through the wards, they started tearing up the city. It was the broom that got the worst of it. The pillars enjoyed the protection of the high houses and the temple knights. More than a few people still sore about that, mind you. Which is why, considering your presence company, I would recommend you keep your wits about you if you meant to go below. And something sharp in your boot, just to be sure. I shall take your words to heart, sir. Master Alphonso, I think it would be best to return to Fortim's Manor. You go ahead without me. I'll be staying for a drink or two. Mr. Tatar, I'm afraid it's out of the question. The Lord the Count would never forgive me if I abandoned one of his charges in such a place, at least, of all a maiden. What are you up to, Tataro? Looking around, Alphonso. This tavern is full of people whose business regular takes them beyond the gates of judgment. With friends like that, I could particularly live here and wait for the newest gossip to come to me. Indeed. Would you be safe here on your own? Oh, please, you know how often I look after the waking sands and the rising stone by myself. If I had gil for every unwelcome caller I've driven away, I'll be rich beyond the wildest dreams. I'll be fine. Not that I doubt the lady's knack of fending off unwanted advances, but I'll be damned if I'm going to let anyone lay an unwelcome hand on a patron in my establishment. That settles it then, Satoru. Sarah and I shall return to the manor now and contact me about Link Pearl if you are requesting assistance. I will. Ah. And back to the last vigil. Yes, House 4 Temp. Welcome back, Mr. Connor. Shall I show you inside the manor? Yes, please. Count Edmund. Tell us, then, Master Alphinaud. Does Ishgard meet with your expectations? That which I imagine pales in comparison to reality. I felt the weight of 1,000 years of history with every step I took. And when those steps took me past the scars left by the wyverns in Foundation, I understood how easily the history could end in tragedy. The attack was devastating, the casualties unspeakable. The wyverns did not discriminate. Unarmed men and women, even children, were given no quarter. Sir Emmerich has orders to keep knights to strengthen our defenses, and each house has been called upon to lend that support in case it can. There is much to be done, yet alas, able-bodied men and women are in short supply. Perhaps we could assist, my lord. After all you have done for us, we would welcome the opportunity to repay your kindness. That is most generous offer, Master Alvin. You are a guest in my home, to whom I have extended my hospitality without obligations. Let Orlin. Nevertheless, Ishgard needs is great. And if you are willing to aid our cause, I cannot well refuse. Good. What would you ask of us? What I've heard, you are an intelligent, persuasive young man. Such qualities may prove most useful to us in the effort of securing provisions from foreign sources, identifying trustworthy suppliers, brokers, contracts, and so on. As for you, Mistress Connor, I could ask no one better than a storied veteran such as yourself, a woman with capables to act swiftly and deservedly, would need to aid the artorial and the elemental and a mainland with their duties. I beg your pardon. I am more than capable of carrying out my duties myself. I have no need to our honored guest assistant. Now, be reasonable, brother. What manner of a fool would say no when a famous hero offers to do his work? Hold your tongue. By the Fury, you two will conduct yourselves with dignity befitting of your stations and show Mistress Connor the respect she deserves. This is a woman who slew Gyres Fenbelsaw and some half-dozen primals beside. She is not here to steal your glory or serve as your errand girl. If you can pardon them for impropriety, Mistress Connor, it should be most obliged if you would lend my sons a helping hand. My thanks for Fury willing. They may even learn something from you. So he has 3 sons. He has Horshaphant, which is the eldest, and then 2 youngers. Ilmaniant, Imalian, and Honorit, and Honoriot, Imalian and Honoriot, okay. Would seem we shall not want for employment over the coming days, though that's not that was never in doubt. Our host, initially reluctantly to accept our offer of aid, was solely after appearance sake. In truth, he was glad for the opportunity to put us to work. But granted our patronage, House Fortune has taken a tremendous risk until we demonstrate our worth to Ishgard at large. The Count will face consequential oppositions for his peers, from his peers in matters great and small, and so he would have us publicly serve Ishgard, whistled simultaneously keeping his sons in check. This is an arrangement we may benefit from our unexpected ways. My own duties may fashionably bring me into contact with people who know something of our missing comrades. And as you go about helping the 2 lords with their various responsibilities, you will inevitably make new acquaintances in Ishgard, perhaps even new allies. Yes, and the more I think about it, the more confident I am that by futuring their goals, we should future our own. Okay. Oh, he is. So the eldest son, where is he? That's the manservice. This here is... How many sons does he have? When a man like Lord Emelian is in high spirits, you can be sure the trouble is ashore. Shall we be off then, girl? Ah, but where are my manners? Emelian de Fortem, second son of Count Edmund de Fortem. Trueborn, that is. Yes, I know what you're thinking. And you are absolutely right. That ill fortune to be born second in the society where the eldest inherits all. But my brother would never cut me off. It's true. But who could be satisfied subsiding the meaner allowance forever overshadowed by a sibling? Not I, old girl, not I. Which is why I need your help to keep ensure that my business of the sea of clouds goes swimmingly, so that the tales of my great deeds can win me a place in the people's hearts, or better yet, raise me to higher estimation of than Artorial ambitions. Grant you, but then I do have a legendary hero to be to do my bidding. Oh, don't look at me like that way. I jest. Anyways, we are to aid the good men and women at the House of Heliante. They have ever been steadfast friends of our house, and though they have fallen on hard times since the calamity, poor brilers. As for precisely, that is what precisely we will be doing. Well, what fun would it be if I told you everything in advance? Just come along. With me and her in the airship landing. Meet me in the airship landing. We'll need to take an airship to Camp Cloud Top. Okay. Okie dokie. Airship landing. Are you ready to depart, madam? The airship bound to Camp Cloudtop will be leaving shortly. Yes. Okay, here's some interesting things. We do not have flying here. Flying requires us to do some things, and I do not know.
Airship, conceived within the fecund mind of Sid Garland, renegade prodigy of Garlemald, who had come to call Eorzea home. High into the heavens, where isles of earth and stone floated as clouds.
We're also meeting the first beast tribe here.
Scarce begun to explore. To a fledgling outpost within the sea of clouds, where careworn scouts ever scanned the skies for winged shadows, she came.
Here we are. Okay, let me check something. Duty. No, it's here. Not eventually currency champion goes. It's on the logs, right? No, it's not sightseeing. Challenge log, no, it's not that. Orchestra, fishing, gathering log, sightseeing, hunting log, travel. Ether currents. Mount speed. Boarding ready. Social. There was something. New game plus. Hall of Novice. No, that's not it. Sightseeing, crafting, hunting, duties, duty recorder, support system, duty finder, journal, key items. No, that's not it. That's not that. Collections, that's what I wanted. It's that. Unavailable at this time. Awful cold up here. I mean, Corpus may not be blessed with the warmest weather in the world, But compared to this, it seems positively balmy. And of course, our hero is wholly unperturbed. You don't have to maintain that strong, silent persona all the time, you know. Never mind, we need to find Lady Laniette. She's in charge of the garrison here. Oh, and when we find her, just follow my lead, yes? Excellent. I know where she is. Yeah, I remember. This here is not... it's not that I remember this here quest, but I know... Now I understand why he was like, oh, okay. Now things make sense. Yeah, we can't. Can I? Yeah. It's level 50 error, so it just doesn't make me. Nothing is gonna attack me. But we are landlubbers now. Again. Laniate ite. Mr. Connor, welcome. I'm Sir Laniette, the Halianate commander of the forces stationed here at Camp Cloudtop. Try saying that 3 times in a row. Strange though it may sound, I have long dreamed of meeting you. I am in your debt. You see, I shall ever remain so. Were it not for you, my younger brother, Francil, would have been executed upon the word of a false inquisitor. Alas, the knight must go where her duty demands, and thus I have been unable to seek you out. But by the grace of Halone, I have been granted the opportunity to thank my brother savior in person, and to call upon her gracious aid beside. Truly, I know not what to have done to deserve this double blessing. It's a pleasure to see you again, my lady Alanete. You cut an elegant figure as always. A steel-clad rose equal at home, on the battlefield, or in a ballroom. Lord Emilian. Lord Emilian. It is not too often it is not too much to ask. I would be grateful if you would allow me to finish speaking with Mr. Connor. Captain Cloudtop has established to provide easily warming independent Dravanian incursions. The high elevation efforts by the floating isles makes it ideal for this purpose. Naturally, this also makes it ready for target for attacks. We are not defenseless, however. The Protector, our largest and most advanced airship, is capable of drowning all but the mightiest dragons. Alas, as you may have noticed, it is currently undergoing repairs. What is worse, our efforts have been hampered by an treacherous beast tribe known as the Vanovano. We who have several skirmishes here already. No beastman is a match for a man of Ishgard. Bring me a birdman and I'll show him a thing or two. I fear much and more may ask of you in the days to come, Mr. Connor. So let me just double check something here. So this here's Dervania and the Forelands. To get there, we need to get here. And to get here, we need to go to the Foundation. To get to there, we need the airships. This here is level 54, I think. Okay. While I understand Lord Edmund's intentions, I would rather not waste valuable time ensuring that the young lord doesn't get trampled underfoot. True, it is entirely possible that he may learn something from his experience, but if left to his own devices, I think it is far more likely that he will make a mess of things. Tell him that I would like to keep a watch on Durranian outflyers. Then, when I have a moment to speak with the manservant in private, make it clear that it is his responsibility to keep Emilian from honor. How do I pronounce that? Shep? MCCB? Emilian from striking his duty. Okay, let's see here. M6 is cool, okay. A request from Laniate. Why didn't she think to ask me in person? Surely she must see me standing here but a few yards away. Oh, never mind. What is it? Let's see here. Roaming around and keeping an eye on things as usual. Oh, is that all? No, leading the van against the Beast Tribe stronghold or some such. Well, a rather droll task, but who am I to deny her? I shall begin at once. Ah, Mr. Scarnard, I do not believe I probably introduced myself. My name is Heavenward, and I will serve at the pleasure of Lord Emilian. Oh, you brought the game at Enma. Okay, so you bought Endwalker and you didn't like the tap targeting. So, okay, let me try and see if I can help you if you would like to get back into the game. Ediamer will have me accompany him on his mission. I understand completely. I do my utmost to keep him out of harm's way. So, first, I would highly recommend that you do not watch any of this here, because this here is spoiler territory. We are past A Realm Reborn. Second, before you leave, if you choose to do so, which is totally understandable, because this has awesome story. If you go into character and go under target, the tap targeting is very, 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 very hard. But there are some tweaks you can do. The first thing you should do is this here. Target type, targeting closest enemies. Type 1 is standard, ignore depth. Type 2 is cone. So, the issue is, while your targeting scheme sucks, is because it would target everything like outer blah and here and so on and so forth. If you switch it to cone, it's always in a cone of sight of you. If you do that, I think you will have a better experience when you play the game and use tap. Because you can see here, it doesn't target anything out. Like, I can go closer. Always switches. Second, I would recommend also, if you feel that you're having a horrible experience, you can try switching to a controller. The controller scheme in this game is probably the best in the whole world in any game. I don't play with controller. I'm just saying there are options. I would also recommend that you may check out some guides that are on YouTube that actually try to help people in more detailed manner. But the first recommendation I would do is go into, again, character configuration, under target, and mess around with this here. And target type, change closest enemy, do it to a cone. Because then it just doesn't jump around. On another note, just to show you, having your target, especially if you're a tank, like me, if you have this here near, it is a lot easier to switch between, and I have it on this side. It could be that you want it on this side. So tuning your UI for your needs is very, very, very crucial in this here game. You will get a better experience. And you can do that going to HUD layout. And you can different layouts, like mine. So I can understand that. I didn't have an MMO mouse to start with. I switched over to a minor MMO mouse. I used this here is the Logitech G604. It does not have a full 12 button layout on the side. It only has 6. And that's because my fingers are too large to have the other one, which I actually have a copy of. I actually have the other one, which is the 600G, if I remember correctly. That's a real MMO mouse with 22 buttons, and there's 12 on the side. I simply, I cannot move my thumbs around enough to hit them all, and when I hit multiple buttons. So I switched to this one here instead, which has suited me fine. But what I would do instead is actually under your key bindings, use under hotbar, use something like Q, E, G, R, F, V, something that's closer to your fingers, because movement, for instance, you do not need turn left and turn right, meaning like turning around like this here. I can't do it because my movement is here, but like having your character rotate, you don't need that in this here game. And also there are some other tweaks there. Again, YouTube. YouTube is a great thing. There are some great people out there that talk about this here. That can help you with the experience. And again, depending on which job you have chosen to stay with, because again, if you are playing, like I started as Marauder and so on and so forth, you can go ahead and switch out to other avenues after level 10, and you have hit the MSQ, so you can actually like, okay, I'm starting to get a little bit bored, I don't want to tank really, or maybe you don't want to heal, and you can switch over to DPS and stuff like that. So, yeah. That's the best thing I can help you with. But do give it a try. It takes some time to actually get used to figuring out, oh, if I do it like this, it's so much better to play. Just changing the UI, and minimizing it. Like for instance, I have a toggle switch here that takes off all the crap that I don't need when I'm in combat or doing stuff. But again, I'm more of an advanced player, so I can understand that a lot of people don't know this. And the game doesn't really... For this here, it doesn't actually help you. It doesn't show you what you can do. You need to look that information up, share it with other people. But definitely mess around with the controls here inside the character. That is crucial to under targeting and switching that. That helped me a lot. There's also, depending on how you like to play, there is options to... Where is it? General. Is it under general or is it character? That's that. Target, filters, mouse. There's also way too many menus sometimes. Switch target circle the target selecting is also something that I've turned off. There is switching to the legacy mode, which is a different mode to how the camera behaves. For instance, like one of the things that I do is, as you can see here, my character always is facing away. That's legacy mode. You can't do that otherwise. So again, there is multiple plethoras of things. Yes, the game, A Realm Reborn, which is roughly, what is it, 40 hours, 50 hours maybe, if you go straight through it, is, in all honesty, is the roughest part of the whole story. The whole story in general. The first arc, we're talking about from A Realm Reborn to Endwalker. That story arc, which has finished, so what actually the next expansion that is happening in the next year, probably around January, I'm guessing, will not be a part of this here arc. This here arc, which is pretty much the 10 years that that Square Enix did with this here game, has concluded at the end of Endwalker. So that, you can take that and say that's a bucket. A Realm Reborn is definitely the worst part of it. That is to say that it is not a bad experience if you really start to look at where it came from and where it is now. I played A Realm Reborn first time back in 2014-15. And I just yesterday finished off A Realm Reborn. And I've seen the progression of what they have changed, because they have streamlined, they have removed quests, they have fine-tuned some things, made things more intuitive, made things more fun. There are a lot of things that are better. And on top of that, you have the duty support system, which you can find here, which is all the key story dungeons you can do with NPCs, so you don't have to play with people, and also you don't have to wait in queue to get people to end. But you will still have to do the trials that are here, which is the 8-man dungeons, and also the 24-man, sorry. Those are mandatory no matter what. And I can say when you hit this here, which we did, we started this here up about 2 hours-ish ago. The voice acting for some of the characters on the English side has changed dramatically and improved a lot. The voice acting in A Realm Reborn is probably where I would give the most criticism, where I would say, if I were to do the last thing on A Realm Reborn, is I would take the current voice actors we have today and are still around from Heavenward in most cases, and I would erase or recast A Realm Reborn. But because it is a Japanese company and they have had great success even with the voice acting that was in A Realm Reborn, they will never do that. So that's my gripe on it. But it does get better. It does get better. Again, we are... that is because I am a veteran player. So this here is an alt. I have a character that, well, I can show you. Give me a sec. Let's just travel here. And yeah, I should... it's not a spoiler that I'm gonna show you, so... Let's log out. Start up again. This is my main character. No, there's no play to win this year game. The only thing you can do, well, the play to win is such a weird thing. So, what is winning in this year game? Because if you can today take and on the Final Fantasy market play and pay for a story skip, which makes it so that you skip from a Realm Reborn until Shadowbringers, which is from level 1 to 80. You can do that. And the only thing you're gonna rob is your enjoyment of this year. Because if you're starting an MMO and you're not intrigued, first of all, by the combat system, and you're not intrigued by the story, I would say it's not the game for you. This here has the community that is around this here MMO. So FY, this here is my my main character, and as you can see, I am level 90 on everything. So that's why I know. I have played the game. I have done everything. I do not have anything. Like, if you look here, I've done everything. There's no more quests for me. So that's why I know. Let me switch back here. So Final Fantasy, where Final Fantasy shines, or where every MMO out there. And this here is not saying it's better, but what is the difference is this here is a story driven with the main focus on story. It is not so much about combat. So for instance, if you're raiding, people are interested as much as the raiding aspect as doing the mechanics, but it's also the story. It's the story that drives people to play this here game. It's the story why people come in and replay some things. Like, for instance, replaying A Realm Reborn because I can't remember it. It's been years since I replayed it. And there's also the opportunity. It's the only MMO that has the option to actually do New Game Plus, meaning you can take your character and go back and replay with the same character A Realm Reborn. For me, I need a second character for reasons, and that is why I chose to make a new character and replayed through that, because I could just simply replay it with my main if I wanted to. But there was no pay to win, technically, because you cannot win the game. You cannot pay to get the best armor, the best thing, and just smash everything. No, it's not how this here works. WoW doesn't work like that. You can boost your character. You can get to level 80 max, but you will have to level from 80 to 90 because Final Fantasy Square Enix does not allow you to buy a maxed out character. You can buy to 80 and you still need to level up to 90. And you will also have to do the story quests from level 80 to 90 to get to the end of the game, where the end is. But again, what's the end? Because you've skipped everything, technically. It's the journey that's the interesting part in this here game. It's not so much the end thing. Not to say that the end thing is a lot, but I would say that what most people do is, for instance, this Tuesday new patch comes out. New content means everybody that has been waiting are relogging in, resubbing everything, and just starting up again and playing the new content. After a month or two, people will drop a little bit off and come back when the next thing comes. That's how people play. That's also what Square Enix encourages people to do. You don't need to play 8 hours a day. You don't need that. We're fine with you. Just come in and come back when you're ready. It's no rush. It's not gonna go anywhere. They are 27 million strong, so, and growing. Hopefully, they're estimate target is they want to hit 30 million before 2023. I think that was the ambition. And they are actually close to 28 million from what I understood at the last live level, which was not this Friday, but last Friday. Well, the great thing is, if you've forgotten the story, you can always go and replay it. As I said, if you have come to a part, like an arc, like you can see, A Realm Reborn is done in 6 parts. You can go into the menu. When you have unlocked it, you need to unlock it first. And there are, if you, one of the key things, so let me just go to, discard. So, if you see quests, not like these, but has a blue check mark, that means if you do that quest, it unlocks something. There is a, and there's I think it's called Eorzean Collection, a website that actually tells you where can you unlock what quest is the name here. But you need to unlock New Game Plus, and I think it is in Waking Sands area, which will be in Northumberland, Western. I think the New Game Plus character quest is around here. When you hit a certain level, you can unlock that, and then you will have access to this here menu. And if you ever want to replay things here, on top of that, you can, in any city, go into your inn, and we're just gonna go to, yeah, just FYI, these are the quests I'm talking about. Let me just go to, where are you? Forgotten Knights. So let me just show you what I meant. This here quest. This here quest unlocks something. This here is actually gonna unlock, if I remember correctly, this here is gonna unlock Dark Knight. This here is gonna unlock the Machinist. And so on and so forth. So they will unlock something. But the last thing, if you don't want to replay something, or you're just like, there was a quest I did like 2 hours ago. I can't remember what they told me. Talk to the innkeeper. Tell him you want to go retire in your inn. And again, if you have unlocked it, untending journeys. This is your diary. You can go in and say any quest that you have completed and say, oh, could you replay if there's a cutscene, for instance, like the ultimate weapon, let me watch cutscene 12 again and just see the cutscene. Yes, getting a house is probably the end game. That is the extreme savage tier. Especially on populated servers. That's correct. I don't have a house. I don't need one. I don't want one. Just one more thing that I have to mess around with, so no. I'm not a house guy. Let's go back to Sea of Thought. So I hope that helps a little bit indulging. I'm not going to tell you to do whatever. It's just recommendations and knowledge to technically help you maybe enjoy the game a little bit more. If it doesn't, then maybe it's not the game for you, and that's totally fine. I'm not gonna... I'm not the type of guy to say that, oh, you need to play it since you purchased it. Like, my brother tried it, and he didn't like it. And, again, that's just how things are. You can get a house, as I said. It is easier on servers like these. Like, for instance... this here server is a low populated server, and it's also a new server, and that's why there is an extra bonus XP buff constantly on that says that if you're below 80, you get extra XP. And that's also why that I'm level 73 and I just started Heavenward, which should not be possible. But they boost you a lot. So yeah. But anyways, let us continue with the story of this here fine day. 40? Yeah. What server did you play on? If you can remember. What data center? Was it Chaos? Was it Light? Oh, okay. Well, you can always, well, first of all, you can transfer if you wanted to, but I don't think you will be granted that. You can also go ahead and start from scratch if you want to. Make a new character. That's what I did. Like, I have multiple characters that I've tried to, like, redo, until, like, 3 or 4 years ago when I started actually playing it whole again, and then I maxed everything out, so yeah. No problem, no problem. I'll happily indulge people if they have questions. Anyways, let's get back to this here. I also need a drink of water because my throat's dry. Give me a sec. Okay. We're here for another house. Mayhaps I would not feel obliged to go to such lengths to preserve his safety and dignity. In any case, I appreciate you speaking to me for him. It would seem he actually listens to you, at least, or so than others. Or mayhaps who are more skilled at this than most. I suspect you have had to humor your fair share of difficult men before. Let's see. Now that Emilian is out of harm's way, we are free to discuss matters that actual importance, such as our struggle with the Vanu. The first encounter with the Vanu was several years ago, but we had just begun to explore the Sea of Clouds. After an exchange of pleasantries and gifts, we received permission to conduct a permanent lookout post. There was a peace between the people for half a year, until suddenly, for reasons unknown, their attitude towards us changed. They began to attack our forage parties without provocation, forcing us to rely more heavily on supplies flown in from Ishgard. But words are no subtleties to first-hand experience. Go and see Sir Mariale. She could use your assistance. Oh, she's up here. Nice. Oh, I actually need to get my chocobo out. Mistress Connor, I presume, Lady Naliet, told me you were coming. I fear to tell you've never faced a Vanu before. Well, spend enough time on the patrol and you'll sure to cross paths with them eventually. Most birdmen are native to the floating isles. I say birdmen, but they are not at all like the Ixal. Or at the Ilex. Unless the Ilex mother was a Gygas. Here, let me think several locations on the map. Let me mark several locations on the map. If you discover any Vanu of these areas, kill or drive them away. Okay. Standing watch. Yep. One down. Let's see, where do we go? Oh, it's up. I need to remember what is the correctest. I think it's up here, yeah. It's so hard. Ooh, nice. There's a Paisa here that I need to kill. So the reason why I'm killing them Again, I think some people were not here where we were talking about it, but I unlocked the hunting log, or the hunting quest, and they are on one of our here. They are on the paper that we need to hunt 3 of them, so that's why they have targets. So back in Heavenward, there were these here. And they showed you how many you have, and they also had an icon. So it's pretty much the same thing, just a modernized thing where you need to actually do, and you could do, it's a daily thing. So yeah. And destination here. I think we have about an hour left, and then I'll take a break and come back a couple hours later, and we will start again anew. But let's see how far we go. But we are gonna have an intermission for a couple hours where we'll be offline, and then I'll come back and we will go into chapter 2 of Heavenward. Which is not chapter 2 as in, like, chapter 2 what Square Enix calls it. I call it chapter 2. Excuse me. And we're back. Sea of Clouds is so massive. It's incredible. But there's also a lot of area where you can't actually do things. I think all this area up here is pretty much like a small island instead of like... But sadly, we cannot fly here yet, which would be awesome. But we will have to contend with not being able to do that yet. But that will be something we will unlock while we're doing the main story quest. I have always found unlocking it later to be the biggest pain in the butt, so we always do it at the same time. Finished your patrol, anything to report? Maybe it was too much to hope for one day without a skirmish. At least I can take solace in that the fact that Helone blessed you, has blessed us with your mighty ally. Expecting your reason to crashes with the Vano, I cannot escape or notice that things here are rather peaceful, to the detriment of our garrison's discipline. Despite being built as an observation post, we have yet to record a single incursion by the Horde. That is why, as far as everyone is concerned, Camp Cloudtop is a backwater of no significance. And of course, the pride of our camp, the Vanad Protector, is the perpetuant state of need of repairs. So even were the Holy See to come under Durranian attack, we would be unable to fly to their aid. Simply put, Mistress Connor, there is an ambition. This is where ambition comes and dies. If you have an inspiration to advancement, you will be right at her. However, I would like to think that enthusiasm can be used to contagious as apathy. If you will indulge me, I will have you seek out sentries and stroke their fighting spirit. Psych them up, you might say. Psych. I can't spell, that's why. Send a tag! What should we do? What should we do? Got me fooled there for a moment, old girl. An amusement jest, I abide, a tad cruel. Surely you must have realized how unsuited I am for monotony of a mere sentry duty. Yet, still, you tempt me with a promise of excitement. No, this won't do. This won't do at all. Lady Lemonade will give me a grand mission as befits my station. Yeah, he has issues, that boy. He has issues. Grand issues. Let's take this sentry out here. You're looking rather grim. This is serious. Devano is no real threat and the Dramanians couldn't give a fig about us. You gods, where did that come from? Fine, if you insist, I'll make the effort more alert. But really, I fail to see the point. We're hundreds of miles away from the front lines, which is just like the way I like it. Thank you very much. That is where those are the people who don't take their job seriously are the people who are getting effed over for sure. There was anything fluffier than a cloud. Oh, he's sleeping. Great. What was it? It's a horde by the fury. Whatever possessed you to do that? I'm awake. Why are you not? After a shock you gave me, I doubt I'll sleep for a fortnight. Many thanks, Mr. Connor. Already, I can see change in our sentry's behavior. Beg your pardon, Lord Emilian said what? Ha! Well, I have no doubt that Lady Lemonade will do her utmost to oblige him. Let me check here. If Lord Emiliandra is going to demand more dangerous duties, then I expect that Leilana will want you to accompany him. I might as well speak with her sooner than later. There's no use avoiding the inevitable. So babysitting, right? Mr. Connor has informed me that your mere sentry duty is beneath him. I understand that we have to thank you for the epiphany. Well, there's nothing for it to give him something more demanding than... Can I count on you to keep him safe? Excellent. We are in constant need of fresh water in Camp Cloudtop. As there's no underground sources, we can tap the wells. However, There is a unique variation of crystals we have recently discovered, which is able to use or obtain water through other means. These spring crystals can be found in the Vor Shine Shahi Vor Xian Xiran. Wow, that's a word. To the east of here, I'll have Emilian. Lane. How the fuck do I pronounce that? Main Lane. Lain. Lain? Melaline? Bring what I want back. I need to figure that out. You have to contend with the feral beasts which populate the lakes. Not to mention the Vano scout their areas and nearby settlements. So of course, there are all pairs in comparison to keeping the young lord entertained. But you'll have Doubtless Grove accustomed to that by now. Good luck and be safe. And here, told me about the mission once again. If you didn't know it any better, I swear she's avoiding me anyways. What is it? You're making this sound terribly appealing. Still, I should be glad to have you along. Come along then. Let's see, up here. Melaline. So this is the Vor Shine in the Legends and Neri Abano and Nea Abano inside. How disappointing. I could do with some sport. I know, why don't you and I make a competition? Whoever finds superior specimen wins. Honorald shall judge our entire entries of size, purity, and, say, aesthetic sensibilities. Let us begin at once. See where we can find something. Spring crystal. Water crystal does not appear to exhibit the properties described by Lily Lanate. Perhaps you should try and inspect another one. Water crystal does not. Okay. Holy crap. This one either. Okay. Oh, this here could be one. It appears to be a secret and steady stream of water. Perhaps this is the spring crystal the lady Lynetta seeks. Yeah. Or Shian Sarin. Saran. Or Sain Saran. Saskana, have you brought your entry to the for the contest? I understand such things are limited, but can this truly be used to draw moisture from air like water from a pump? Fascinating. Everyone's been gone for awfully long time. Did you perchance see him while you were doing a search of crystals? Even you must realize that the dangers of wandering too far in such place. Perhaps I'm wrong, worrying about nothing, but I must ask you to assist me in looking for him, Mistress Connor. We shall find him more quickly if we split up. Pray search the southeastern area, Wamshai Sianshan, as swiftly as you are able to render-wise with me in the north. Farewell and good luck. Yeah, I had a feeling. Up here. Let's see if we can find him. Servers around his area, but see no signs of him in the end. Mr. Connor, Lord Amelian, Main Lane, Emaline, Emaline, Lord Emaline has been taken by the Vanu. They had my lord sundered. Surrounded, the whole gang of them. Please, you must come quickly. Proceed. Okay, so I just heard a pronunciation. It's Omanilla. Oh, Manila. It's a French pronunciation of something. Okay. So they break it up. Okay, Omanilla. The Vano must have taken him to the village, perhaps to present to their chieftain. I will take haste. I will make haste to the roadhouse and tell Lady Lainette what has happened. Yet, by the time I return to with aid, I must already be too late. Forgive me for asking, Mistress Connor. Should you spy an opportunity to sneak past the sentries and rescue Lord Amanilla? Amanilla. Amanilla. My absence! I beg you take it. I know you can be a trifle presumptuous and insensitive, and, well, insufferable, but he doesn't deserve this. So he was a manservant for Amanilla, Lord Amanilla. Rescue. Oh, I need to remember that I am level synced, so I can just not plow people down, but... I do one-shot them, that's good. Sarah, I'm over here. Hi. Brambleweed rope. You. That was horribly unpleasant. The lofty. How about you run a bit faster, eh? Oh, I don't have hack. Okay. Run, Forest, run. The hell are you? I'm just gonna destroy everybody, fuck. food. Further help has arrived. Oh, it's Horshifand. Oh, it's the brothers that keep help. Uh-huh. There we go.
Reinforcements?
Anger of Honu, chief of mighty Vundo, royals like blackest storm clouds. Offer netherlings to the white. Cloud sea swells, and he comes.
There it is.
The white, mighty Bismarck, lord of the mists.
A flying whale? By the fury, it's a primal.
Yep.
We must away. Bloody typical. All right, we're going in.
Aye, aye, Chief.
And Biggs and Wedge and Sid is back.
All aboard!
Okay. Well, nothing like a primal. Welcome, Sid. Thank you for the help. Thank the gods. Only know what might have happened had we not been around to save you. No need for thank, though. It's not as if you haven't done the same for me. Ah, shit. Once but the blind cans brought us together by this time. In that case, we were wondering, Holy See and its petitioners the ironworks to assistance in the creation of their new protector. Apparently, they just can't seem to get her flying. Anyways, I came to Camp Cloudtop to cast an eye on the ship, only to learn that you had arrived a few days before with the Ishgardian lording in tow. A small world, I thought. Just as lordling manservants skitters into the view and babbling about some master having captured you and risking all to rescue him. And the rest is, as they say, is history. Right, well, I hesitate to cut short our reunion, but I'm here on business after all, and the boys are already hard at work. Don't worry, old friend. We'll speak again soon. I promise. Ah. Imalane. Malalien. Appears to be rather pleased with himself. Very well, I admit it. It was incredibly harrowing experience. I could very well have died. You know, me, dead. On the other hand, by risking life and limb in the line of duty, I did succeed in uncovering the existence of a new primal. And that, old girl, is no small feat. It's by stupidity if you did that. I have made an historic discovery. In fact, even, Lady Lana will have no choice but acknowledge the yes, no, she's gonna pretty much scold you, hopefully. I'm rather looking forward to basking in the sun rays of her praise. Speaking of which, isn't it time that we made our triumphant return? I don't think you should say it's gonna be triumphant, you stupid idiot. Oh yeah, it's Sid that gives us the ether compass that we need to actually get flying. Let's see how bad this year is gonna go. Praise Halone. I feared the worst. What happened out there? A primal, are you sure? Yet, now that I think of it, Bismarck is reminiscent of the white whale of Vanu legend, a massive creature said to swim in the sea of clouds. From what I've learned of comparable summoning, the presence of the Vanu's god would certainly explain the sudden change in their behavior towards the people of Camp Cloudtop. Ah, you mean to say that they have fallen under the primal's influence? I recall reading of such things in documents provided by Master Athenode. Are you forgetting something important, lady? The recognition of the hero of the hour and choosing the expression of gratitude, respect, and admiration, and so on. Why, yes, you are right, of course, Mistress Connor deserves all that and even more of having risked her life to rescue such an esteemed personage. Well, if there is naught else to discuss, I would depart to Ishgard forthwith. The Holy See and the Temple Knights must be informed of this new threat without delay. But of course, Mr. Connor, you have done more than enough here. Pray return to Ishgard with Lord Horsefun and give my warmest regards to the Count. So that's it then. No more forays into the enemy territory. Very well, I see my services are no longer needed. Take care, Lady Lana, and may the next meeting take place under more felicious circumstances. Well, that's the end of it. To the airship landing, then we speak on the journey home. What a moron. What an absolute dolt. Yeah, we're just gonna... Nope, we are just gonna... do this. Do this. No, it was not here. There. I confess, I've always been rather fond of airship travel. The chills of the wind upon one's face, the warm blood pumping through your veins from the excitement. I find the whole experience incredibly invigorating. Or mayhaps simply the joy of having cheated death yet again. Haha. In any event, I must make for the congression and inform Sir Emmerich of all that has occurred. Emilian should have returned to the manor by now. Why not go and see if he's recovered from his ordeal? Vigil? Welcome. Oh, it's you, Sarah. Gods. Did he have to strike me so hard? Father, he did not approve of how I handled the matters of Camp Clouds Up. How I endangered the lives of others through my own recklessness and incompetence. It's not easy to play playing the hero, is it? You're a moron. Let's see what he has. Lord Atoriel. Let us begin anew, Mistress Connor. I'm Sir Atoriel de Fortemp, eldest son of Count Edmonds de Fortemp. You will forgive me my outburst, I hope. I meant no disrespect. I merely consider myself equal to duties entrusted to me, unlike some. Horshafont has spoken of you often. If you are even half the woman he claims, I shall be glad to have you by my side. No matter at hand, we will be assisting the esteemed compatriots of House Durande and Desmaniel. You are aware of the friendly rivalry, I'd say. Aye, well, suffice to say, the prospect of assisting said houses does not fill me with joy. However, it is the will of the Holy See that we set aside our differences at the crucial juncture. But we shall speak more of that and none. First, and we move forward, and we must needs secure the transport to Falcon's Nest. Let us make for the Chocobo stables in Foundation. Perfect. Chocobo stables. Greetings, Mr. Skana. Saddle a black chocobo for your journey through Western Highlands. As per Lord Atorial instructions. Will this be your first time riding a chocobo, may I ask? If so, you're in for a treat. But I'll say, you know, the particular breed can fly. Given the right conditions, it can carry you quite high too. Even over Snowcloak. You needn't worry about the directing the bird, of course. Like all porters, she'll train and carry you in the destination by all by herself. So relax and enjoy the view. Oh, but be sure to not to relax your grip, will you? 2 hands on the reins at all times, if you please. Travels for Falcon's Nest. Porthas, Western Highlands. That is the second area, and that is actually the area we need to get into Dravania.
Wastes of the Western Highlands, once verdant tracts made pallid by the calamity. Beyond the towering wall of ice, to lands long forsaken that the knights of Ishgard strove tirelessly to reclaim. To the hamlet of Falcon's Nest, once abandoned, now freed of its pall of snow and ash, she came.
Perfect. And here we have it. Let's talk with us, Artoriel. The world looks quite different when you view it from the back of an airborne chocobo, does it not? I still find the experience strangely liberating. To business. Sir Redwall is in charge here. He should be expecting us. Good. But before we do that, we of course always go to the Etherite. The last thing we will do before we stop is actually going to Dravania. Because we can do that now, because we can travel there just by foot. There's nobody stopping us here. There's no gating anymore. Be good. Let us go here. It has been far, far too long, Lord Atril. And who might your companion be? Pray forgive our lateness, Sir Redwald. I present to you Sir Sarah Connor, Ward of House Fortemp. Ah, yes, of course, Lord Drillamond spoke of you. I, Sir Redwald of House Durindari, do bid you welcome to Falcon's Nest. We are both eager to contribute to the settlement's restoration. How may we be of service? Before we speak of that, Would it be correctly assumed that Mistress Connor is unfamiliar with the recent history? Then, with your permission, I shall recount the tale for her benefit. As you may know, Falcon's Nest was once the hamlet of a small garrison of knights and some few villagers. And then came the calamity. When it became clear that the snow could not stop falling, we had no choice but to order a complete withdrawal. The settlement and the entirety of the Western Highlands were to be abandoned. Abandoned to the heretics, Lady Iceheart and her kind have walked these lands with impunity ever since. Aye, but no longer. The Holy See has commanded that the reclamation of the Western Highlands and an expulsion of the heretic elements. Falcon's Nest is the key to accomplishing these objectives. But as you can see, rebuilding the hamlet is no small undertaking. Our craftsmen require support and protection, and assistance you can offer will be greatly appreciated. As promised, we of House Fortims are at your disposal, Sir Redwald. You need but only tell us where to begin. Aye, but we do not begin before we have started our next leg of the journey. Oh, deep eyes, nice. You can just kill them here. Normally it's always free, I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And one bridge. And a long way down. Down. Oh, come on. Here we go. No, not this way. Here. That is the garrison we haven't like unlocked yet. Settlement. The Woolly Yak. Man, I hope we're not on lock behind it. Oh, gelato. Again, I'm guessing we need 3. And of course we do this. Perfect. Ice commanders. And yeah, we just do location and yep, we should soon be able to traverse into the Ranian Forelands. That's the nice thing, at least, like that you're not like gated behind that. I think the only thing we will be gated at is actually going to the next city. I don't think we are allowed to get there. We will see. We will see. We will actually try that before we log off, because I am curious if we can do it. If we can, that means we can actually upgrade to level 60 our gear. That will dramatically help us soloing dungeons and stuff like that. Oh, before we do anything, we are gonna, of course, etherite it. Let me just think here. So, that's hinterlands. And that means... it's going to be interesting to see if I can get there. Anyways, let us do the other quest. We have 3 hunters we need to talk to. Hi, I can hardly forget the size of the beast I saw that day. I was dragging the chocobo around, 100 thrones, when I spotted a bear near big as a house, drinking its fill of the waters. I didn't dare get any closer when I went home from the day's hunt empty-handed. Ask any hunter here around here, and the grizzling of Albathian spine. They try like to tell you the same thing if you see one run. Player facts. You're right a fool to think you're going after one of those massive beasts alone. Best thing to do a dozen things along want to come back in one piece. If you got the men, then I've heard hunting the party is using common salmon to draw them out. If you're head up for the Wilburn River, you'll find a few them dried dung of salmon around. Okay. Okay, and then we lure out the beast. Brown bear is nice. I'll take my hand on brown bears after we're done with this one here. Salmon. Only 2, nice. So now we can go back to Camp Bronzeley. But we don't want to do that. We want to go south and see if we can go into the Dervanian Highlands instead. And from there we can go to Ildenshire, which is the city that is the next one that I wanna see if I can get into, because I don't think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think there is a gate locked behind that, because not like Ishgard. But we will see. We will see. You can also go ahead and get the etherite for Anux Shrine. Because this here is pretty much the most of Heavenward. I don't think. Oh, there is a little bit more actually. There is a couple more instances, but these here are the key ones that I want to get. Oh, actually. Probably 3 of them. Yeah, figured. There are more up here. Plenty indeed. Perfect. Stone summoning. I think it's locked. Let's see. Nope. Can attune to it just fine. Perfect. It'll make questing a lot faster, so that's good. So we're doing all the road work, all the hard work now. So let us see if we can go into Hinterlands. I'm pretty sure we can go into Hinterlands. It is the next step that is the issue. And Hinterlands does not have Aetherite for particular reasons, which will make sense when we get there. But let us see if we can actually... get into hinterlands. Because... I am pretty sure... it is not... Is it locked? Is there a fucking gate? Yep, there is. Fuck. Yep. Motherfucker. Shit. Oh well. It's not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. But we did succeed in getting this here out of the way. Meaning we actually get some very important quests. Ah, Sarah, welcome back. My brother and Weskos were just telling me about the Maelstrom success in the Nostra. Aye, the Copal Scout frightened mice before the wrath. Seriously, I think twice before they're setting a foot on the Lomanian soil again. Sarah, as eager as I am to hear the journey of the Bastian spine, I can't afford to waste any more time away from my training. The kobolds may be licking their wounds now, but they'll be back and in greater numbers. Till next we meet. Curious Jaws has acted in high spirits since our return from Elimsus Mensa, but his bravado is scarcely high as is true. But that said, it was true. Our operation against the kobolds were a resounding success. However, troops fought alongside him say that Curious Jaws was noticeably shaking during the battle, as if he was afraid the tide would turn at any moment's notice. But it was not fear of kobolds who was causing the axe to weep, it was fear of his own inner beast. As this fear has hold of him in battle, then there's no little hope that he will ever grow as a warrior. Kobolds become bolder with every passing day, and the Maelstrom forces are expecting to Finn. Maelstrom commander is desperately seeking ways to supplement the flagging troops. They are considering boasting fighting strength by the training troops in the warrior techniques, so Curious Joe's capabilities have come under specular scrutiny. However, I fear continues to hold him back. If fear continues to hold him back, I doubt he'll manage to impress anyone. Once again, we are left waiting for means to tame the inner beast. Sarah, there is not learned a journey of the Drowning Forest that could be aided. Ah, at the same manner as before, memories of battle have aroused the inner beast. So my fear was correct, that the key to mastery lies in the heat of conflict. Just as the ancient tomes say, only victory against worthy opponents can temper the inner beast. Sarah, your growth of the warrior given the valuable insight to the true nature of the inner beast. However, there is still much to remain shrouds in mystery. And there's still a question of what exactly sets Sarah apart from your brother. Indeed, the tools to tame the beast within the hidden away, just have to find them, Sarah. Continue your training while you return to the tomes. A solution will present itself soon enough. Belcleve. And this is the one where we're looking for also. Sorry. I could not have come in a better time. Wilkins has just arrived and looking for eager to speak with you. Sarah, just the warrior I wanted to tell the nations of Limsaminsa is in dire need of your aid. Maelstrom is short-handed with the beast tribes attacking only grow more fearsome. More ferocious. Heroes are searching for a skillful fighter, and there's ain't many more skilled than you. As now, my brother has already answered the call, helping the Maelstrom defending the relentless Copal assault. Copal's aren't the only thorn on the other side. Pirates are in the shell again, have been pillaging among the coast of Lannistia. That's why we need your axe, Sarah. Maybe they may be mere pirates, but their blades are deep. As I've seen, Limsa will be grateful to have your powers on their side. Once you've made your preparation, hurry up to the airport and speak with Captain on duty on detail on your mission. Sweet. So this here will unlock Raw Intuition. We have Lock Velcro, and this here is the last piece of the puzzle, pretty much. Because when we have that, we're pretty good for now. Equilibrium is 58, comes later. But anyways, for now we're gonna leave it at that. I will take a break, get some things in order. We'll train and come back later today with chapter 2 on the Falcon's Nest. So until then, bye.